Alright, hello everyone and welcome to Game 2 in a series between Nani and Naama. Game 2 taking place on Lost Temple. So yes, homage to the good old days when Lost Temple was part of the ladder map pool. I say that as a Terran player. Everyone knows that Lost Temple is so imbo for Terran. Anyways, Nani saying good game, good luck. I would not be surprised if Naama did not return the sentiment, especially after that Void Ray cheese play in Game 1. That Game 1 Void Ray cheese play, I think it just totally played against what Naama was thinking what was going to happen. And now, how is Naama going to respond here on Lost Temple? Lost Temple, a map that really favors just tank play here. So siege tanks and having your natural expansion clipped may have a lot of issues for Protoss players. They do have Stalkers. Stalkers are able to get within that combat range. Also, Observers do help as well. So we'll see what will be happening in this particular matchup. We have Nani spawning here as the pink Protoss at the 9 o'clock position. Meanwhile, all the way across the map, we have Naama spawning as the green Terran. Naama making sure to get a lot of sight on the inside of his base, and this is something that I suggest a lot of Terran players do. Don't put your building right up into the very edge. Even though it gives you more sight, the problem is what you saw exactly in the last game, where your opponent is able to snipe down your supply depots with Void Rays and then end up supply locking you in the early portion of the game, and then just be able to take that into the mid to late game. SCB now making its way out. It looks like it is going to try to scout out that close spawning location first, the ally spawn, so he will not be able to find Nani anytime soon. Meanwhile, Nani will be coming up that ramp in just a moment. A Marine not yet trained. We should be seeing an upgrade to an Orbital Command. Oh no, no upgrade to an Orbital Command yet, as Naama likes to go for that 16th SCB before upgrading to an Orbital Command. I had forgotten about that little addition there, as a Marine now will be popping out to try to get some damage onto that probe. And oh, very nice by Naama. Naama having the foresight to know that that probe may try to sneak around the other way, and now getting some damage onto that probe. The probe may take a lot of damage, down to 4 hit points. Will it be able to escape? It looks like it will be able to, as that one Marine unable to catch up. One shot. Oh, there it goes. So yes, an early scouting probe has been destroyed. A lot of people wonder why I get so excited about scouts getting destroyed early on. In this level of play, losing any unit is very, very important. So losing an early SCV, losing an early Marine, losing an early probe does have ramifications later on down the line. Things just tend to cascade into larger and larger events. You do see that the Zealot now trying to chase that one SCV. The SCV now will run all the way home, as we are now getting into a Reaper. So this is not a Reaper expansion. This is in fact a Reaper factory. So I'm curious as to what's going to be happening next, as Naama has not gotten his second refinery yet. By the placement of this factory, I would assume he wanted to do a tech lab swap, but there is no indication or no sign of that just quite yet. An SCV going to have a very difficult time now as it runs past the Zealot. The Stalker now coming in. The SCV trying to do a little bit more scouting, but unable to get away from that Stalker. The Stalker does move faster than an SCV, as we now see a fast expansion attempt by Nani. The Reaper, however, going to come in and gain as much information as he needs, as that Marauder is now being trained. So it is a Reaper expansion, but also going into a faster factory, and now he should be able to start training up some siege tanks as well. The Reaper has not gotten any damage yet so far, just looking around and taking a good inventory. He saw that the assimilator is now down over there as well. He does see the expansion attempt, so he knows pretty much what's going on at this stage, as this Reaper gonna perhaps jump off to this north side here and then just hang out back on this high ledge where so many Reapers just like to party and watch what's happening down over here. We do see Marines and Marauders. We are getting siege tanks without siege tech, and also Marines being trained up. We also have a command center, so this is another expansion attempt by Naama. Naama looking to perhaps get some additional damage, as that Reaper, oh, needs to jump away, down to 14 hit points, and it looks like it will stay right there. If you did not know, the range in between these two locations here is actually a range of 7. So even though the Reaper has a range of 5 on the D8 charges, He does not have enough, even with the bunker here, to try to damage this particular Nexus. You may not have known that, but the Reaper has a little bit farther range on the D8 charges than on his, Gauss pistol? Yeah, P45 Gauss pistols. Marauders and Marines positioning themselves over here, and it's looking like it's going to become a very long macro game coming in from both players. Naama going to be establishing his expansion here, upgrading to an orbital command, and also trying to transfer some SCVs over. Income-wise, 28 Harvesters versus 32, a slight advantage for Protoss, but that's nothing a mule or two cannot solve in terms of trying to balance out that factor. And oh, the Reaper getting shot down there because of the help of one Observer on the high ground. Observer was taken. Observer now moving across the map, and there are already 2 Observers in play. So Nani now also going into a Twilight Council, and we'll see if he tries to go for Zealot Charge. I can't make any predictions just quite yet on what he's really trying to go for. We do see a lot of gateways though, so 3 gates with the robotics facility, meaning that we could be seeing Dark Templars, High Templars, or Zealot Charge and Blink with Stalker Blink. Observer now making its way across. It doesn't look like that missile turret will be completed in time, and only another missile turret down over here can intercept that Observer, and down it goes. So no more free looks inside the base. We are now going into a double starport, and Naama's strategy seems to be... Actually, I don't know what Naama's strategy is at this stage. He could go for double Tech Lab and try to go for double Banshee. He doesn't have enough barracks for mass infantry just quite yet. So yeah, it looks like it will be double Banshee with Marine and tank support. That is a very interesting build, especially as those Banshees have one of the highest DPSs in the game, dealing a lot of damage. I believe it's 20 damage per second is their DPS, and that is significantly fast as we are now training up those Banshees. Also, Nani taking this time to try to establish his 3rd base before the 10-minute mark, clearing out these destructible rocks. I'm assuming that this probe will be warping in the Nexus in just a moment. The probe even joining in on the fight to try to take down those rocks, as both sides are just sitting on their respective sides of the field with that Zonaga Watchtower offering plenty of information to the center. No additional command center being built, so no liftoff attempts anytime soon. We are getting a reactor now, so we are going to be getting Banshees, and now going into a 3 racks build, we are getting stim packs, so it looks like this may also be another reactor. And what's going to happen is that we're going to be getting a majority of Marines. The majority of the gas is going to be going into siege tanks and Banshees, and then the Marines are going to be there to try to clean up everything else. Stalkers, Zealots, and Sentries now looking like they're going to make a move, but this is going to be very difficult for Nani to try to push in. The Stalkers did look down over here, doesn't see anything clearing out here, so Nani must be pretty happy that he's already establishing his 3rd base. There's already a cannon warping in here as well, so that's going to be a definite deterrence for those Banshees. Banshees now is turning away, already taking some damage, and Stalkers with Blink. Oh, taking down 1 free Banshee there, and that is going to be an issue. You can see the Banshee now looking to get some damage, going after probes. 1 probe already down, another probe going to get taken down. No, this Photon Cannon trying to get destroyed first, but the Stalkers are nearby, but do not have observers, so those Banshees not doing any damage at all. But if Naama continues to trade up those Banshees, I believe he's going to be able to surprise them in open combat. A lot of Terran players have recently found how useful Banshees are, not only in a harassment role, but as a part of your army. Banshees dealing a lot of damage. The majority of ground units do not deal additional damage towards light, so Stalkers have a difficult time trying to shoot down a Banshee, but we are going to be getting a Warp Prism. The Warp Prism may be warping in. Is it going to be Dark Templars? No. No Dark Templars, just a lot of gateway units. As you can see, 10 gateways currently being trained. And there you go, massive Zealots inside the base already. Zealots now trying to run away as the SCV's now trying to run away as the Banshees coming in and will be able to clean up and just finish off this army with relative ease. You can see the high DPS damage of those Banshees there. And I believe that Nani actually lost more in that particular engagement than it was actually dealt. Another Banshee over here just flying around, and now observers need to be spotted out. That is why we are getting a Raven, And a Raven with a point defense drone is going to be very difficult to try to counter. The Raven wants to get shot down, or the Raven doesn't want to get shot down, but those units want to shoot down those Ravens, but will have very, very difficult times as the Banshee is now just going to waylay this entire expansion here, dealing a lot of damage. A 3 pylon to destroy down over here, as well as a probe over here getting destroyed as well. And now you can see the Banshee's trying to back off, getting just out of sight range in time, decloaking, make sure to not waste any of that energy as another pylon warping in. Perhaps some photon cannons will be joining in there in just a moment, taking out a quick probe. Oh, the Stalkers picking up 2 of those low hit point Banshees, and Naama now definitely behind, or evening up the resources lost there. Marines and Marauders, yeah, not going to even comment on that. You should not be doing that. But then again, a Warp Prism was lost as well, so both sides did take some heavy casualties. What may happen is that the Stalkers may try to blink up onto this high ground. No, they are actually going to perhaps move out and engage as they see that there is a probe now making its way out over here. Siege tanks need to siege up 1 Marine down over here. Siege tanks need to siege before they get into combat range, and there we go. Here's the battle. Zealot's now trying to target. Both sides battling it out. The Raven now dropping 2 auto turrets as well as the Sentry's finally out, and now the Stalkers are definitely on a run. The Banshee's now trying to come in, getting some more damage on those Stalkers while they are running, and those Banshees getting some additional damage and able to almost escaped with 2 of them, but no, one of them just taking even more damage, and now mass Marine infantry getting macroed up, and I believe Naama has more than enough of an army to simply attack, move, and finish off his opponent here. You can see the damage that's going to be dealt. The Marines are now stimming away, and now Medevacs is healing the rest of this group here. Siege tanks just raining shells of damage with those Crucio shock cannons, and Naama going to easily take this game. SCVs are on auto repair, repairing the Medevacs, so the Stalkers can't even try to focus down those Medevacs there, as this expansion now going to get taken down. SCVs just sitting over here. They are not on auto repair, now just joining in on this fight. This is a 2-base all-in now, as so many SCVs are just absorbing a much of the damage here. The Stalkers now trying to rain more damage, but the Siege tanks going to be able to get more damage in here, and now Marines and Marauders nearby finishing off the rest of those Stalkers, and I believe Nani is going to lose this expansion and perhaps lose the game. SCVs just continuing to run back over here. 1 Stalker not going to be able to fend off this attack, as the units are just going to slowly push their way in. 1 Banshee. Oh, EMP shockwave depleting a lot of energy and shields, and so much damage being dealt across the board. Marines and Marauders focusing down this Nexus. This is going to get taken down. More units just massively incoming. As you can see, a lot of production buildings back home. Colossi, or 1 Colossus now left to try to fend off this army, but not going to be able to do so very, very much longer, as the Ghosts are now being dropped. The Ghosts making off another EMP shockwave, currently low on energy, but a missile turret also being built as well. Colossus now coming in as well. The Colossi do not have the extended thermal lance range just quite yet. The Ghost was destroyed, so no EMP shockwave, and now just more force fields coming in. You can see the Siege tanks now just trying to siege up onto the high ground and blasting their way through. The Stalkers are not going to be able to engage. Sentries will not be able to get any more force fields down, and that is the problem there. And there's the GG by Nani. So Naama now evening up this series, taking game 2 in this series, what I now know to be a best of 3 series. I can let that information slip now, just because, well, you know that there's one more game. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed game 2 in this best of 3 series. Stay tuned for game 3.